All right. Welcome to the Hypnosis Hero podcast. The the only one almost. I think there might be one other that's starting to do what we do that will actually let you get hypnotized on the screen in real time. We record live, so whatever happens, happens. We welcome TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube. I'm hoping we're on Facebook. Facebook was causing us a little bit of an issue getting things set up, but if not, so be it. Whatever platform you happen to be on, please, share, do all the things that we need to do to keep the podcast growing. And in the meantime, speaking of growing and changing and doing things, we've got so many things on the go with the podcast, of course, also with the Performing Hypnosis Summit. And so I'm going to bring on my co-host, who's also one of the co-organizers of the Performing Hypnosis Summit coming up in January, Mr. Brian Bay.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
We are not on Facebook. It is
You're not on Facebook at all, right?
It's not playing nice.
Maybe grab the YouTube. Yeah, maybe grab the YouTube link and we'll see what's going on.
Yeah, it's Yep. So let me take care of that.
For sure. While you're taking care of that, we will mention, of course, the Performing Hypnosis Summit is coming up in January. There are not that many days left. And I was talking with my colleagues at the school division office today, and we're looking in our calendars trying to figure out when we're going to fit stuff in December, because it's December already. Like next week, we're into December. And it's like, where did the entire year go? Because it has been fast, in some cases furious, in many cases just flying by all the time. So, it certainly seems to get faster and faster and faster.
Yeah.
When one of the guys that I worked with for 23 years, I said, we were talking about this exact same thing 20 years ago in your office, that things seem to go faster and faster and faster. And he says, yeah, right. I know, but now it's like warp speed. He even said warp speed, which is bonus for me, being the Star Trek guy that I am. So it is always good. Got a few people starting to roll through TikTok. Rhonda's with us over there. I'm going to assume Jen is going to be by in a little bit as well. Ollie in here and a few others. So for those of you on TikTok, if you have questions for our guest, please post them and I will definitely make sure they get asked on the air. Same thing with you on LinkedIn. LinkedIn doesn't quite have everything integrated the way that it should be. So once they rectify that, it'll behave just like, hopefully better than Facebook, and it will behave just like YouTube. So people can definitely jump in and chat with us all the way through. Getting lots of people again. We're starting to roll through. So welcome, everybody. How are we doing there, Brian?
Oh, we have had better days. I'm doing my best to maintain composure. Without going into things, we have a 2-tiered justice system, and when it comes to insurance companies, I'm not saying that what that Luigi guy did, on the East Coast is acceptable or correct. All I'm saying is that I understand. But yeah, it's not 100% out of the woods yet, but there's going to be a resolution shortly. But I'm just trying to do what I can to kind of maintain, and what would Jim Kellner do? We kind of woo-saw. We're gonna
keep going.
We're gonna just. I think Grant was talking about, right now is the time to just be still. And
look in the mirror and say, "Damn, I'm pretty."
I've been saying other 4-letter words, but I think I've been more screaming them. But no, it's. I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around how judges can be just absolute morons, and I would say that with a capital moron. But I've got good friends, so this is the time of year where you get you look at you kind of reflect back on the things that you're thankful for, and so good friends, good people, opportunities in my life that are coming. I'm definitely thankful for those. But you guys have some weather that's coming.
Yeah, that would be one way of putting it. And I've got Sammy joining us in TikTok land as well. The weather out here is going to, pardon the proverbial term, but it is going to tank. Um, and I typically blame it on two things. One,
Right.
when the weather starts going bad, especially for me in my area, IBM is usually coming to the province from Toronto. They one of their reps, somebody's flying out, something's going on, the weather's going to go south. I actually have correlated proof of that. Uh,
I like
Sam
it.
saying, OMG, don't say the 4-letter word. Regina
I
already
can
has
appreciate that.
Regina already has 14 inches, just so you know. They apparently got it last night and they weren't supposed to. So um, the yeah, the cold is rolling in, of course, because it is winter, and
Right.
unlike those of you that are in the mountains, the cold tends to sink. So where does it sink to? Saskatchewan and
Oh yeah.
Winnipeg, right? So. Sammy's saying, "Are you blaming me for the weather?" I don't know. Are you flying to Saskatchewan, Sammy? That's the tell. So anyway, we also have Becca joining us. There she is,
Yeah.
all the way from the UK, and I'm sure up very early or late, or I guess it depends on your point of view. It's probably Wednesday over there already, or
Yes.
pretty close to it.
Yeah. So I'm actually wondering if Grant was saying like, yes, I'm flying out on Wednesday. If it was actually like he's taking the very early morning long haul. But Grant, if you see this, if you hear it, if you're in the air at the time of this broadcast, we wish you safe travels.
Yeah, he'll make it. It's okay. Air Canada pilots are well trained to land in almost anything. And there's a long story behind that. Remind me to tell you when we're at the Performing Hypnosis Summit.
Okay.
um, let's just say that my grandfather used to be the maintenance foreman at the Saskatoon airport, and he had an interesting take on how to solve problems. Let's put it that way.
Oh, nice.
So anyway, I'll tell you about that when we get to the summit. That's definitely a story for another time. We do have with us an
We got a pretty cool guest tonight.
yeah, an exceptional guest, and I'm going to pull this over here so I can actually talk to you. There we go. All right. So Zoilita Grant is a trailblazing mindset expert, best-selling author, and award-winning hypnotic coach with over 50 years of experience transforming lives from the inside out. I think she actually said it's closer to 60 now. Her groundbreaking work helps people access the power of their subconscious to overcome internal blocks, unlock their potential, and create lasting success. Recognized with the Lifetime Achievement Award by the IMDHA and IACT Hypnosis Association, and author of the New York Times recommended book, Change Your Mind and Change Your Life, a step-by-step guide to letting go of your past. Zoilita brings deep wisdom, real-world tools, boy, I say that 3 times really fast, and heart-centered insight into every conversation. She is not just inspirational, she is transformational. And so with that in mind, Please welcome to the Hypnosis Hero podcast, Miss Zoilita Grant. We try to get that in there all the time, and sometimes I miss on that. Today we got it just perfect.
I'm so excited to be here and to talk to you and to talk to your audience.
Oh, that's awesome. We're excited to have you.
Yeah, like I said, we were talking just before you hopped into the tech check, Brian. Every conference that I'm looking at, okay, who's speaking, who's doing it, and there's Zoilita Grant, Zoilita Grant, Zoilita Grant, Zoilita Grant, and you just got back from Australia.
Yes.
So the Australian,
Yeah, you gotta tell us about that.
yep.
That's
Tell us a little story about the land down under.
So
yeah.
I like the Australians. They're real, they're honest. What you see is what you get. They have like an amazing ability to just be genuine people. And hypnosis is very popular in Australia. And you can even get referrals through the medical system for hypnosis for pain and hypnosis for anxiety and stress. So it's very accepted. I also made some really good connections with the lady Justine Letty, who's head of the New Zealand Hypnosis Association.
Yep,
I'm going to go
another
there.
name that I've heard many times. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm going there in March.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Are you going to visit Hobbiton and some of the Lord of the Rings uh, sets that are still there? Apparently, they've turned it into a hotel or something.
I definitely will see what I can explore for sure.
All right. Um, Boy, we everything is kind of lit up in the chat here. So we've got uh, Health. Somebody saying, "Hey, Becca." Mark Barris saying, "Howdy," and is definitely happy to finally meet you. So again, there's a lot of us. We're sitting on the sidelines. Sometimes we're not able to make it to a conference, and we're looking at who's speaking, who's doing what, and you always have that fear of missing out. And you think to yourself, I really want it, and so now here you are.
Here I am to share
So
anything that I can.
so we need to have some people that are in the chat. Let us know if you're coming out to Vegas for Performing Hypnosis Summit, because that's something that you're definitely not going to want to miss. It's going to be a good time this year.
Yeah, that is even though Jim's not with us, last year we were able to get things going and still have an absolutely amazing time in Vegas with primarily stage hypnotists. We've always said a lot of what we do as stage hypnotists is it still has a direct transfer over to the clinical side, because the ability to turn on a dime, tell a different story, change the parameters just a little bit so that it becomes funny is exactly what we do with our clients. We're looking for that one. What is that one thing that's going to help them? If we pull that one thing out and it's not there anymore, do they get to go forward? Do they? I don't want to say magically because it's not magic, but do they finally get that alignment with the inside and the outside?
Yeah. And Shawn, can you give me powers real fast?
Oh, yep, we can do that.
So the and then Zoilita, we spoke beforehand. You're actually going to be there.
Yes, I am.
So for the folks who are watching, come to the summit. Your opportunity to meet one of the greats, and it's really interesting. The first year I came out, it was the year before Jim passed, and finally meeting Shawn, finally meeting Grant, finally meeting a handful of people that we had on as guests.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, "Hi, how are you doing? Let me shake your hand. It's very nice to meet you." It's like, oh my God, finally, it's like friends reuniting, big hugs and everything like that.
Yeah.
And so it was a lot of fun. I mean, plenty of handshaking going around, uh, and everything. And then last year after Jim's passing, it was like a big healing, extended family reunion type of a thing. So,
Yeah.
we see people, and then when you make friends, you friend people on Facebook, on social media, things like that, and then you see what are they doing, what kind of successes are they having, and you're like, this is awesome. So, uh, let's see, yeah. So you've been at this for 50 years.
So when I was 16 years old, I weighed 265 pounds.
You don't
I,
look a day over 30.
I'm 5'2", and today I weigh 115 pounds. I learned hypnosis. I lived in Berkeley, California with my grandmother. We went to the University of California Library, took out all of the books on hypnosis. I hypnotized myself to lose 150 pounds in a year.
Oh,
So it
that's
changed my
amazing.
mind and changed my life.
And if I recall correctly, that's how Jim kind of got into things. I know that self hypnosis was one of the mechanisms that he used to drop a fair amount of weight
Hmm.
and really kind of lead a healthy lifestyle and uh, whatnot. But yes, and so now I've got in my notes here. So you went to Berkeley,
Right.
uh,
And I
doing
got,
psychology, and then there's something in here about social work out of UT El Paso.
right. So I was raised in Berkeley. I've always been pretty revolutionary. This
Hmm.
was the time of the Vietnam War. So my first husband, who was a draft dodger, and I were smuggled across the Canadian border by the Underground Railroad that operated in Bellingham, Washington.
Oh, that's just north of me.
Yeah, and we went across the border. We were received with really open arms. It was 10,000 Americans that arrived in Vancouver in the summer of 1971.
Uh
And
huh.
we lived there, and I was very involved there. After a period of 5 or 6 years, it was the bicentennial year. I got a divorce from my first husband. I was at a New Year's Eve party dressed as a gypsy reading tarot cards. And
Right.
someone said, "What are you going to do now?" And I said, "I think I'm going to go back to the United States, take a See America tour on a Greyhound bus, join the U.S. Army." And that's exactly what I did.
Oh, so God, fellow Californian,
Yeah.
fellow Army veteran.
Yeah.
So tell me what you did in the Army.
I did military intelligence.
I same with me. I was an actual analyst. So
Yes. Yes.
what
Yeah.
96 Bravo was it at the time?
I don't remember
I,
that.
I know I know they've changed the numerical designation, but
So I went to
yeah.
Fort Huachuca, Arizona, went to the
Oh,
engineering
yep.
school,
That's where I went as well.
was stationed at Fort Bliss in El Paso.
Okay, yeah,
I was the first woman integrated into the 3rd Armored Cav.
yep. They have that out there for
Yeah.
sure. That's
So
a third ACR.
the Army was a pretty intense experience, but I developed a really powerful mantra. And my mantra was get married, get pregnant, get out.
You're not inaccurate. there, there's definitely that's not an uncommon thing.
So that's what I did. And then I went to graduate school there in Texas, got a master's in social work, marriage and family therapy.
Hmm.
Always was interested in hypnosis, always took hypnosis classes.
Hmm.
And then over the course of time, when I moved to Colorado, I really helped spear a profession that was called unlicensed psychotherapy, which included hypnotherapy, and practiced that for several years. And then at a certain point, I decided coaching was a better model.
Hmm.
And so I quit doing psychotherapy. I went to school, went to the International Federation of Coaches, took their training, blended it with hypnosis, pioneered hypnotic coaching, and the state of Colorado sued me. And they sued me based on the idea that hypnosis is only stage entertainment or psychotherapy. And so if
And
I
so
was doing,
you were an unlicensed mental health professional.
right.
Yeah.
So I fought them in court.
Hmm.
It went to a trial judge. I won the lawsuit because I asked the trial judge to have the assistant district attorney explain to the court that if hypnosis is only stage entertainment or psychotherapy, when a woman gives birth in a hypnotic childbirth, is she doing psychotherapy or stage entertainment?
Okay. I'm gonna with the legal background. I can I can go. You know what? Well played.
Yes. So I won the case. And it established case law that said coaches can use tools that are also used by psychotherapists, like hypnosis, as long as they use it in a different way.
I was going to say, I imagine there has to be some type of, uh, disclosures or something like that where you're not holding yourself out going, this is going to guarantee to cure your anxiety. It's, look,
I
this
wouldn't
is a
even work,
tool.
I wouldn't even focus on anxiety. What I would focus on is the development of inner peace.
Right, right. I was using that as an example. Like
Right,
if you're saying, hey, I can cure your smoking, I can prevent your anxiety, I can get rid of all of these things where it's I'm treating you
right,
versus, hey, if you come to me for the stop smoking or anxiety or whatever it is, you can say, there's a whole bunch of disclosures like, we
So,
are not practicing any type of mental health stuff. Like if you're
so,
under the care of whatever.
so rather than a disclosure model, it's a
Hmm.
contractual model.
Yeah.
So I have a coaching agreement with my clients.
Hmm.
Okay. And in my work with my clients, it is all focused on the achievement of goals, but it could be learning goals, fulfillment
Hmm.
goals, relationship goals,
Right.
peace of mind goals, business goals. My particular niche is I work with a lot of entrepreneurial business people
Hmm.
or private practice people, like I have doctors and chiropractors as clients, to help them achieve business success.
So it's kind of like helping people just, for lack of a better term, get out of their own damn way.
Yes, yes,
Like, don't
yes,
be afraid to put that big dollar figure in for what something's going to cost if that's going to cost that much.
yes. Dream big dreams and then
Hmm.
create a plan. Use the power of hypnosis to get the blocks out of the way, shift the mindset, do mental rehearsals of achieving the goal.
Yeah. No, exactly. That makes total sense. And then is that part of your, so tell me about that mindset for success and the six-figure success coaching system.
So that was a training that I developed to teach people who have never had any hypnosis training at all how to go from the beginning into having a hypnotic coaching practice.
Hmm.
What I'm actually more interested in doing is actually training hypnotherapists to add hypnotic coaching rather than starting right at the beginning and training the hypnosis skills. I think what I rather do instead, and I'm working on a training right now that I'm going to unveil in New Zealand, which is hypnotic coaching for hypnotherapists,
Hmm.
is how you add this new niche that is really different than hypnotherapy. It's not just the same thing, it's really different, but it uses hypnosis skills you already know how to do in a new way.
So kind of like another tool in the toolbox.
Yes, but it's a tool that can be more sustained income
Hmm.
because coaching clients,
A profitable tool in the toolbox.
a very profitable tool, because coaching clients are ongoing clients.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of my clients work with me for like, I have a client I've worked with for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
I have a client that I've worked with for 25 years on and off through the course of her life.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a hypnotic coach, your level of income will go up significantly and your level of marketing will go down significantly.
Yeah, especially if you're getting like referral business. It's
Yes.
like, a good friend of mine, actually going to be one of our speakers or presenters at PHS, is in the financial industry. And like when you first get into it, you're buying leads and trying to, friends and family. And then after that, there's a certain point where it's like, okay, I get to filter the clients that I want to work with,
Yeah.
sometimes by zip code, sometimes by net worth. And, once you've got that where you're referring business away, you're doing something right, because, there's only so many hours in the day.
Yes.
And, but, yeah, so God, so what drew you to the hypnosis? Just
Well, first of all,
what sparked that interest?
so I had that personal experience of transformation,
Mm-hmm.
created curiosity. Also, I grew up in Berkeley, California during the 1960s.
Right.
I went from psychedelic drugs into meditation into hypnosis.
Okay.
Okay. I found that hypnotic states of consciousness gave me the same kind of insight and growth that I was looking for in psychedelic experiences, but
Mm-hmm.
in a more sustained way. And then in 2023, I had a seizure in Japan, and they discovered I had a really large benign brain tumor. I came
Oh,
back to Colorado, had 6.5 hours of surgery. Luckily, it was on my brain, not in my brain.
that had to be scary.
And then I slipped and fell on my kitchen floor 10 days later, damaged my brain stem, and became paralyzed in my arms and legs.
Oh my goodness.
This was just in April of 2023. I was told I would never walk again,
Mm-hmm.
that the damage of my brain stem plus my age would make it so that my body would not recover. I told them I refused the diagnosis.
So they're saying that the disconnect happened right where top of spine meets, it attaches to brain. So not any of the cervical vertebrae at all.
No,
Oh
it's
wow.
actually the brain stem. And
Mm-hmm.
so I spent like 3 months in the hospital and another 7 months in a wheelchair, and was in a walker for like another 3 or 4 months. Had a big cane. Went to Australia with a big cane. Now I use a small cane, but my
Mm-hmm.
goal is to completely recover.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the struggles that I've had with, just injuries from, the military, a couple of rough jumps. Um, I'll be having surgery in the fairly near future, just depending on. I mean, it's just going to come down to what day we scheduled on the calendar.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, there's going to be a spinal fusion, and I'm like thinking to myself, going, God, one mistake, one anything. I'm 44 years old. Like, you know, yeah, there's the risk, but then also the trade-off of, if this is successful,
Hmm.
I'll be half an inch taller.
And
The pain and the
Twice that
numbness and
for
stuff.
half an inch taller.
I mean, if you want to have them open up your
Man,
body and be like, oh, we're gonna put a block in between
I'm
these two.
thinking the chiropractor might be a little more successful at stretching
Yeah.
me out.
Mm-hmm.
well, I do
I
Pilates 4 times a week, and my Pilates is making me taller. I
yeah.
feel like it's starting to really stretch my body out.
Oh yeah. And then like some of the Pilates exercises I think are almost cruel and unusual just because I'm not that flexible. But and I say that tongue in cheek, but when you're dealing with a lot of like core stabilizing muscles and things like that, there's a ton of benefit to it.
Absolutely. I think that that's been a key factor in my recovery. I actually think the number one factor is I have a hyperbaric chamber.
No way.
I do. And I have,
Okay, I need to start doing a lot of performance and everything so that I can afford one of those.
so I have the kind that's like a space capsule. It's not the kind that's like a tanning bed, but it's a space
Okay.
capsule. So I can sit in it with a recliner.
Oh
And
wow.
there's a really good company called Affordable Hyperbarics.
Okay.
And I bought it through them, and it was like very, I mean, I spent 12,000 on it, but I would have, if I had just paid for the hours I've used, I would have spent 21,000.
Yeah. So you're like, I'm ahead money now.
Yes, yes, and I'll have it for my life.
Hmm. No, that's pretty wild. Like, uh, uh, a Navy corpsman friend of mine that was a SEAL. He was in hyperbaric medicine. Um, I think like in and around the Los Angeles area,
Hmm.
and he'd be like, "Yep, it's not just for diving accidents.
Right?
It can be used for just a host of other things." And he goes, it accelerates healing time and things like that. So there's a ton of different.
Yeah. And if you have
The whole concept is really interesting to me.
if you have severe neurological damage, you have to have something like that that's going to activate the repair of it.
Oh, so wait, shut up, Scott. What you're saying is there's hope for me yet.
Yes, yes. Always hope.
Are you kidding? Scott's been chirping in the background. We just haven't been putting
Oh,
it on the screen.
I know. I'm like, that's
This is
this is
military intelligence being an oxymoron, and
this
of
is the
course,
shit I put up with.
and of course, telling me that yes, I'm well aware of that surgery, and that just sounds way too painful to me.
Oh God, I could only imagine. Uh, the but yeah, the
So your mind is incredibly powerful.
oh yeah, anybody who's had
Incredibly powerful.
stubborn children, trying to parent them. I'm not going to name any names, Sean.
What are you saying, that I have to parent you and Grant when we're together?
Oh no, I'm saying that parenthood
Oh, well,
of,
yeah.
of stubborn children that just like. Then trust me, I've got my own.
Yeah, no, I the two boys that were very much wanting to be their own men, and they are now. But it was a rough ride along the way. They
Hmm.
learned some lessons, probably a lot harder than they needed to.
Yeah,
But part of that though is you know as a parent, and even as a coach, you want your clients to succeed. You want your kids to succeed, but that means you need to step off the center seat.
hmm,
You can't continue being the end all be all of their life. And so as you let go, yeah, there's going to be mistakes. Yeah, there's going to be some ups and some downs. Eventually, they're going to get it. It's like any kid. I mean, I still have two scars. You can't really see them here because I mean, yeah,
yeah.
some of us, our screens are so tiny you wouldn't barely see me. But I've got two divots right underneath my eyes, and it was from landing on the coffee table corner when I was learning how to walk.
Wow.
So obviously, I got up and I did it again.
Sean learned twice.
Oops, I did it again. That there's your pop culture reference for tonight, and it's not even Star Trek,
I
man.
was going to say that the nerd part of Sean is like, okay, we've got two similar results. Those are data points that talk about consistency of.
Yeah, they're data points, all right. So anyway,
But
yeah, as a coach, as a parent, as somebody who is working to help people, you have to be able to do that. Uh,
hmm,
and knowing when is an important, because if you do it too early, they get frustrated and they quit.
Hmm.
and if you do it too late, they feel smothered and not able to fully express themselves. So
Yeah. So it's that strange thing of that balance of going, all right, let them feel the pain points, but without doing any damage, because that can be kind of its own teacher in its own right.
yeah,
But then you've also got to have them, if you're like, oh, they succeed all the time, the first time you turn them loose out into life and something doesn't go exactly how they planned, all of a sudden, you know, it's catastrophic. But uh, kind of going back to uh, like your coaching and everything. So you were doing was it the non-licensed psychotherapy
Yeah. So
through the hypnosis,
yeah,
and
that
then
was
so was what would you say is your biggest transition going from that into the hypnotic coaching? Was it the lawsuit or?
I think that the loss, I was the absolutely perfect person to be in that lawsuit
Mhm.
because I super knew mental health and I really knew hypnosis and I really knew coaching. And so I could articulate in a way that allowed the judge and the legal decision, which has been used as precedent in 3 different states, really was a really good decision
Mhm.
that gave a lot more freedom to coaches. I think the main thing is in coaching is spontaneous. It doesn't really have a plan like therapy does.
Mhm.
It's more co-created between you and the client. And so I love the freedom of relationship.
Okay. And then so how would you say that the hypnotic coaching differs from your traditional, like a life coach or even your hypnotherapy?
Well, it differs from hypnotherapy in 3 really important ways. Number one, it's a different model.
Okay.
Hypnotherapy belongs to the medical model, and there's a presumption that something is wrong with the client. Coaching belongs to a developmental model. It kind of says, you know what? That acorn isn't going, oh my God, I'm an inferior oak tree. I'm never going to become an oak tree. All it really needs is water and sun and soil, and it will naturally grow into being a magnificent tree.
Mhm.
Coaching says the seeds of your greatness are in you. And all you really need is a coach to be able to supply that focus, keep your mindset and attitude together, help you with habits and skills, and allow you to really achieve your goals. So,
Okay.
so it's a different model,
Mhm.
a different relationship. Coaching is equal. Therapy is not.
Okay.
It's a
So
it's
so kind of on those notes, what I guess what role would you say that the subconscious plays in your subconscious mind? Uh, what role does that play in kind of achieving
okay. So
success,
once
or how would you kind of use that as a what measuring stick would you use to determine success or not?
the, the proof is in the pudding, how is life going?
Hmm.
So if you have a clearly defined goal and you keep moving towards the goal, but you keep tripping yourself up with self defeating mechanisms or unhealthy habits
Hmm.
or procrastination, then the subconscious does not agree with the conscious goals. So I work a lot with the committee. Okay,
Hmm.
the committee is a different way of looking at your ego. The committee is your judge, your rebel, your romantic, your
Sure.
skeptic, your believer. Kind of
Hmm.
it's parts work, but I use a Carl Jung's model because that's what I learned when I was in college, and so
Okay.
I use his model, and people can recognize the rebel and the judge really easy.
Okay. Give an example of that
Okay,
for people who might be more versed in the entertainment side of things and would be able to take a peek into this side of hypnosis.
well, voice dialogue. actually was a acting technique that used this same kind of model where you would like allow yourself to be that part of you that feels sometimes judgmental or
Mm-hmm.
notices whether or not you don't come up to a standard, and just letting yourself be in that voice. I wonder if there's another voice that wants to speak to it.
The rebel that wants to walk across First Sergeant's grass.
Yes, 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 yes. And is there a child, a part of
Hmm.
you that's innocent that needs love? What does the child want to say?
Right.
Yeah.
So when you're working with clients that are, through your hypnotic coaching and everything like that, we talked, a little bit about how the subconscious mind is a pretty integral part of that.
Hmm.
Uh, would you be able to share a breakthrough story? I mean, you can change names or not even give
Of
names.
course. So I worked for about 18 months with a husband and wife chiropractor team.
Hmm.
And they were very, very skilled, but they were always broke. And they
Oh
felt
wow.
every time they started to get ahead, something happened and they weren't able to really sustain prosperity and abundance in their practice. So when we started working together and we began to examine what were the underlying beliefs around money, neither of them liked money. Both of them
Really?
had beliefs that somehow rich people were spiritual people, or they were those people that lived on the other side of town, or
Huh.
just different
Really?
kinds of ideas like that. And so they had blocks to prosperity in their subconscious mind that
So
needed to be cleared.
in that, were they just frivolously spending money? Were they not charging enough for services? What was kind of their major, how
They
how
were not
did the
charging enough for services, and they were frequently doing trades
mm,
of services that they did not necessarily even want.
okay.
And they were operating their practice a little bit like they were social workers
Okay.
in how to give services to people rather than what was the return of investment of their time and energy.
Ah. So it sounds like they were really good at their craft or the trade of what they did, but as far as the business or administrative side of things, very no es bueno.
No es bueno.
Okay. No, that's it. And so what was the kind of the mechanism that you used to help them, I guess, sort of, you
So we
illuminate
began to
the
identify,
problem, and then how do you solve that?
money as energy, that it's energy, that it has a flow to it,
Hmm.
and that you want that flow to be really comfortable and easy. I had them do some mirror work about stating fees because they were very much at the low end of the fees, particularly since they both had doctorates in acupuncture.
Oh wow.
So they should have been at higher levels of fees rather than lower levels of fees.
Hmm.
But it took them doing some mirror work, doing some hypnosis with me to become comfortable with raising their fees.
No, Scott's got a great comment here. He says so many people have a belief that rich people are bad people, and so since they don't want to be bad people, they tend to get in their own way.
Absolutely. That's what was happening with these people.
God, it's like Scott's a smart guy or something, or kind of intuitive. I don't want to give him too much credit because that head's
Uh,
gonna that head's gonna outswell his headphones.
you
But
two and your friendly rivalry. We
no,
have to
Scott
say
Scott Scott Scott's a wonderful guy. I thoroughly enjoy talking with him. Every time we have a chance to chat, he's definitely a wealth of knowledge.
yeah,
Uh,
for sure. Um, and we have to get him on the podcast.
Hey, that might actually be something. Yeah, Scott, implied task.
Yeah, there we go. And so Scott's saying, so what was the 18-month outcome?
Their income improved 400% in 18 months.
There we go.
Yeah, not a bad problem to have.
Those are results. We're actually having the same conversation here on TikTok. I've got Phoenix Singh is here, and Cheryl has been here for a while, and we've been talking about fear, fear of being successful, not because they fear the money, but because they fear the comfort of that money, uh,
Yes, yes.
and that if one becomes comfortable with that success level of money, it can be taken away.
Right.
And I think that up and down definitely would
Oh yeah, it's like the fear of loss,
yeah.
Hmm.
and no, I can definitely, I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
And sometimes people have fears about doing better than their parents. And very often women have fears about doing better than their partners.
Mm,
That I can see.
yeah, I could see like a variety of different things.
Yeah. So those subconscious blocks in your mind prevent you from being able to really achieve what you want. And part of the coaching model is to get the client to clearly define where they are without judgment and clearly define where they want to be and to create a path to get them from where they are to where they want to be. The challenge has always been, how do you get them to walk that path? And part of the secret is you do it through the subconscious. You create in the subconscious mind the schemata for the achievement of the goals.
Yeah, it kind of thinks me. This is kind of how the universe works. A friend of mine just sent a meme over to me, and it says, "When people come up to you and go, 'Hey, I expected more from you,' and then you reply back, 'Well, who the hell's fault is that?'" And, uh, you could. Some people would be like, "Oh my God, that's like such an insult, and I should be bad at my poor behavior." But it's like, well, I'm not responsible for somebody else's expectations.
Hmm.
Certainly there's a little bit of tact that goes along in that, but
Well,
no, so
the Stoic philosophers would say that you control what you can control, which is yourself, right?
Right,
mhm.
And you can't control what other people think or are going to do or how they're going to react to you. All you can do is keep going on your goals, the path that you're supposed to be on, and taking that one day at a time.
And in the interest of accountability, like if you screwed something up and someone chews your ass, you just kind of go like, all right, I'm going to take that one and do better.
Yep, it's called
So
feedback.
yeah, I
accountability is one of the most powerful elements in coaching,
hmm
because once you have stated to your coach, I have this goal and I'm going to do these activities. Sometimes I say to someone, well, how will you know that you've done it? And they'll say, well, I'm going to note in my journal blah blah blah, and then I'll say, well, how will I know? And they'll say, okay, well, I'll send you a WhatsApp message. I use
hmm
WhatsApp a lot because I have a lot of international clients. uh,
yeah,
a WhatsApp message, and I can see that you're on track. So
right.
that gentle, loving, supportive accountability is what helps people make progress.
hmm And no, you're absolutely right on that. Um, but then you've what would you say some common misconceptions are about hypnosis? So if there's somebody who's making an inquiry and they have concerns, what are the most common ones that you've come across?
So a lot of it actually comes from stage hypnosis. A
Oh,
lot of
really?
people have perceptions that somehow they're going to be made to do things that look funny in front of other people.
See, and when we're on stage, we actually blame that on the media.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We're
But
like,
I
but the
always,
people that are on stage, we're just giving them a platform to go be silly, and we're facilitating that because
it's
you're
like
all volunteers.
reality TV. It's like
Oh
reality
God.
TV. People will
Oh.
do things on reality TV because it gives them a platform to behave. Okay. So I always say to people, you know, you are the one that's in charge of your mind. I am here to guide and train and teach your mind. And so your mind always has the ability to say no if
Mhm.
you choose to do so.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely spot on there. And then, so with the hypnosis, in your opinion, how can entrepreneurs and professionals utilize hypnosis or even leverage it to boost or improve their performance?
So I have a process which I call the inner workshop. And the
Okay.
inner
Yeah,
workshop,
tell me about that.
so the inner workshop is like creating an app in the biocomputer. So I'm going to take you through
Hmm.
a process, I say to a client, called the inner workshop, that is going to allow you to work with the power of your own mind to more successfully achieve the goals.
Mm-hmm.
The inner workshop has 4 parts. The first place is a sanctuary where you can connect with your own inner self to get information and guidance about what you want to achieve. The second section is a resource center. This could be a computer or a library, but you have access here to all information you need. The third section is a planning and development center where you can plan and develop your projects. The last section is a movie theater where you can sit in front of a large screen and you can watch yourself achieving your goals.
Okay.
I love the movie theater.
And that is the process I'd like to share with the audience when it's time to do that.
Okay. So yeah, we definitely will be doing a hypnosis, uh, kind of a sampling for you later on. But is there a simple, or just kind of a baseline hypnotic technique that viewers watching now or in the future, whenever they're seeing us, can try today to reduce their stress or even improve their focus?
Absolutely. There's a type of breathing which I call crescent breathing that
Okay.
is a pretty unusual type, but what it does is it helps to regulate the autonomic nervous system so that you are in a resource state. So that
That,
you
that, that almost sounds like tactical breathing.
so it goes like this. So inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your mouth, exhale through your nose. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the mouth, exhale through the nose. So you find your rhythm, you do it for 1 minute.
Hmm.
1 minute every single hour will keep your nervous system regulated.
Hmm. We're going to see Shawn sitting here for the rest of the show, like.
So
Those
I
of
was
us with sinus people are just going to like throw a Kleenex box at the monitor.
yeah, I was in an elementary school at the end of the day today, and uh, you could definitely tell that students, especially at the elementary level, are still, the pandemic definitely set them back, but they're still trying to figure out how to relate to one another and how things should be going, and it's
Like uh, held them
just
up like developmentally or
yeah,
socially,
oh yeah.
or
In
okay.
some cases, some of those students lost 2 and maybe 3 years of kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, and they're now in grade 4, 5, 6, and they're trying to figure out some of the basics because they didn't have teachers around them
God, that's
those 3 years.
wild.
Absolutely. But a lot of the behaviors that are coming out, a breathing technique like this might just help those students self-regulate just a little bit better, and then they can get back to whatever task it is that they're doing. So I'm I'm going to be recommending that to a few of the teachers that I know that have some of those students in their classes.
It's a
Oh wow,
very effective technique for creating self-regulation.
yeah, I'd be curious how that actually turns out in how effective that is in a school setting.
Yeah,
That,
me
that would
too.
just be interesting to kind of hear the metrics on that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
man. Look at that. Scott even said that. What gets measured gets managed.
Right.
My
So,
inner partial dyslexic person read that the first time and went, "What gets measured gets mangled." And I was like, "Nope, I don't think. Let me hold on. Wait. I mean, not that I would put that past Scott, but then I was like, let me reread that a couple times." Uh,
Being able to manage your breath is
mhm.
a real place of developing personal power. Because the natural tendency when you get stressed is to start to constrict the breath. And that begins to set off stuff in the reticular activating system of the brain. So
Right.
the more that you can calm yourself down,
Mhm.
like that crescent breath, the more you can move more to the executive center rather
Yeah.
than the limbic system.
And I'm rethinking that chocolate, like big glass of chocolate milk before the show. I'm like sitting here going like, oh, I got that like yawning fit right now.
um,
but
executive functioning in general, I would say, is probably one of the biggest issues that a lot of people face.
mhm.
In the sense that, you know, just to get started on something. If you get started, and you do it for 5 minutes, chances are you will actually, see it through to its completion. But that just getting started seems to be a real, uh, the speed bump for people.
Oh God, yes.
Are
Yes,
you
absolutely.
are you aware of the Mozart effect?
I'm not, no.
Well, I knew he played nice music. That's
So the Mozart effect has been pretty significantly researched, and it basically says that when you listen to Mozart type music that has those certain kinds of octaves, it opens higher centers of the brain and allows you to have access to more creativity. And I write a lot, and I always write to Mozart.
Really? Got a Mozart CD that's just like on repeat but shuffle.
I go to Pandora and I
Yeah.
have a Mozart channel.
Oh wow. So is it all Mozart or is it just that kind of classic era?
Mainly Mozart, but other people of that classic era. Mozart was tremendously prolific, though.
Hmm.
The only thing that I don't find conducive to writing is opera.
oh yeah, I could see that being very much a distraction.
Isn't opera kind of more like you're singing a story,
Hmm.
and so you're like, right, and then what happened?
It's very
Instead of actually
intense,
focusing on your
very
work.
passionate,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it distracts me.
Oh, that's yeah. I could definitely see how that would be the case. And so we touched on. I'm going to ask about a different personal mantra. So aside from the get married, get pregnant, get out of the military, what is another like personal mantra or kind of guiding philosophy that you have found takes people, leads people to success?
Okay, so this is a personal mantra that I share with other people
Hmm.
living in the United States in these particular times. And
Okay.
it's a paraphrase of Baba Ram Das. You know who Baba Ram Das is?
Uh, the
He
name's
was
not ringing a bell.
okay. Ram Das worked with Timothy Leary. He spearheaded the development of LSD. He went to India, became a Hindu, and reinvented himself as Baba Ram Das and wrote a great book called Be Here Now.
Okay.
Okay. So here's a paraphrase. And the paraphrase is whether you consider this to be the first day of the apocalypse or the first day of the golden age, your work is still the same. It's to be real, it's to be authentic, it's to be true to who you can be, it's to alleviate suffering whenever you can be, and to be the very best example of living your life.
Hmm. So it kind of sounds like no matter what's going on, just be authentic to yourself and you still have the same work to do.
Yes.
Sounds kind of sounds fairly reasonable.
It helps me to maintain sanity. The
Mm-hmm.
sanity between being well informed and not crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting take.
And I like your take on the spectrum. Well informed to not crazy.
Yes.
Because I often, as in my role in the school division, I have one foot in the future, trying to figure out, okay, what's coming down the pipeline so I can work with my teachers and help them do what they need to do. And then on the other side of it, I have all the teachers. So, I'm kind of straddling it, and they're all saying, yeah, that internet, it's just a fad. That AI.
This has been one long ass fad.
Yeah, that AI, it's just a fad. It'll go away. No,
I think
guys, it's
I
not
was
going
in
away.
middle school when the internet, like, I remember what was it, the very infancy stages. We had like one or two computers in the library where you could jump on to back in the Prodigy days, and
Yeah,
then America Online came out, and that was kind of the birth of big internet. That was the one of the main internet service providers,
yeah,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's God. That was
that was a
I
long
want
time
to
ago.
say early '90s.
Yeah, the but the interesting thing is, because I'm over here in the future and I'm over
the,
here
the
now.
the
Everybody's
internet. We're using
crazy.
we're using 1900s technology.
Yeah, and Sean, you're nuts. That's never going to happen. And I said, just wait, because in a few years, or in a few months, or whatever it is, it's absolutely going to happen. And at the rate that the AI companies are expanding now, it's every 6 months they're looking at doubling their compute power, so they have something that they're planning on sticking around for. So it's not just another fad.
Yeah.
Now, whether you consider it the
Oh,
apocalypse
I was
or
gonna say
golden age, the work is still the same.
Right.
yeah, some of the stuff that's coming out with AI, you're going like, oh my God, how do I even begin
I
to
remind
keep up?
teachers there are still teachers on the enterprise in the 24th century. You're good.
Yeah.
No, I remember, God, it was the number of years ago. I remember it was like some type of either presentation or like a commercial or something like that, that is like, we are teaching our, college level or even trade school type stuff. We're teaching our students, or we're training our students to operate technology that hasn't even been invented yet. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And it's really, really interesting. It's really, really cool, but also can be very, very scary at the same time.
Oh, absolutely.
Uh,
It's a different. It's a foreign environment
mhm.
if you don't understand what happens when you push that button.
Sean, does Canada have those? The
Yes, we
company
have
is
internet, Brian.
no. The commercial company is Flock. The camera, like the traffic cameras.
um,
They
there aren't
they they
as
utilize AI, and you can basically go, I'm looking for this license plate number, and it'll pop up and go, okay, this stolen vehicle or suspect in a crime, it came through, and it's got the footage, and the intended use is access to that is supposed to be very narrow in scope. And having a conversation with a friend of mine,
of
who's in
course
law
that's not.
enforcement, he and I were, kind of debating this, and we're both in each other's camps. But I said, the fact that the technology exists is incredibly scary. Like, it's great if you got your car stolen, and that can lead to, it being recovered and somebody being held accountable for that. But I was like, what happens when that's now weaponized against the citizens, and kind of going on that along that brief
Yeah,
tangent when
I don't think there is as many
Mhm.
of those types of cameras. I would suspect like Toronto, Hamilton, the greater Toronto area, Vancouver, and the lower mainland would probably fit those bills.
I'm
But
like, here,
Calgary,
let me ask AI if if
Calgary's, the Edmontons might just be starting to kick the tires on it. We used to have traffic cameras, and they could never get them to keep working in the winter. So
yeah.
uh, there is that. What's the word I want to use? There is that issue that they have to address for anything to work in Saskatchewan past October.
Yeah. No, that's wild. But no, so now you've told us that you work with a lot of clients that want either some type of self improvement, business, or self or professional improvement. I think
Right,
that'll encompass everything.
right.
Uh, if you were knowing what you know now, what piece of advice would you give somebody who's maybe feeling stuck in their lives right now? They've got an important decision to make, things like that coming up, and they kind of are just frozen.
So I think it's really important to get in touch with your own intuition.
Okay.
I think the intuition is like a personal GPS system.
Oh, interesting.
And just like like a GPS system in the outer world, you have to get really clear and honest with who you are and where you are, and get
Hmm.
clear and honest with where you want to be. And then there are tools and techniques to listen to the intuition. The
Okay.
intuition is a quieter voice than the committee is. The
Hmm.
committee tends to yell and scream and have definite opinions. The intuition is more of a quiet voice, so you have to listen inside.
Hmm. Okay.
That's why you
So
always keep an eye on the quiet ones.
what? What you mentioned it before and kind of defined the committee. Is there ever a time that the committee is kind of stifling the individual? The individual's like, oh, I wish I could do something, but the committee's like, you've been told by everybody that you can't, or insert condition here.
So,
But then at the same time, when is it like, hey, you know what? I'm actually getting some advice and recommendations from these people, and my intuition is like, I'm really scared, but we should push through that anyway.
so very often people run their lives in a kind of a teeter totter back and forth between their inner judge and their inner rebel.
Okay.
And both of those parts have agendas. So, what
Hmm.
we want the client to begin to do is to create a new part, which we're going to call the adult self. And
Okay.
the adult self can experience all of the inner voices, but does not necessarily over identify with them. Is able to say, there's a part of me that feels this way,
Hmm.
rather than falling into that feeling state.
So if your intuition is like, oh man, this really feels like I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, but then you've got the committee and other people going like, hey, go take that leap, make that trip, take that chance. It's like, I think that it sounds like the trick is really knowing which side to listen to.
So one of the things that I always say in hypnosis towards the end of the session, I say, there's a part of you that's very wise.
Hmm.
That's your intuition. There's a part of you that knows all truth. That comes from intuition.
Hmm.
Take a moment now and tune in to your own intuition and ask, What do I need to know, to feel, to see, to understand? Listen inside.
It seems kind of like some powerful stuff.
Yeah, it's very effective.
Okay. Oh, that's
Well,
interesting.
and it's further proof that we know more than we let on. You
Hmm.
know, we think that all we see is what our reticular activating system is letting in, but there's a um, whole nother level of information that we're taking in all the time, and it's almost bypassing the RAS and going straight into the subconscious. It's like, yeah,
Hmm.
there's a filter that for your conscious mind, so you don't wind up hearing every or seeing every little thing that happens, or hearing every heartbeat, or you don't hear your eyes blink or any, that part definitely gets filtered out. But there's a whole other level, and then, of course, we know that we only see a narrow spectrum of light, so there's a whole bunch of information that our bodies take in that we know nothing about, usually
Hmm.
consciously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then I also help people to open the door to their dream world,
Oh,
because
tell us about that.
so dreams basically have different levels. The lowest level of dreams are called clearinghouse, and they just clear the junk from the day. But you can also have dreams that are teaching dreams. You can have dreams that are creative dreams. Robert Louis Stevenson, when he wrote Treasure Island, he said that he had little brownies that were like fairies that came to him in the dream world. So he would wake up every single morning and write one chapter of that book.
Huh.
So there are many cases where people have used dreams to get information. So I will say to a client in hypnosis, let's take a moment now and open the door to the world of dreams. Imagine now that you're opening that door. Your dreams become clear, concise, and helpful. You will remember your dreams. You will have teaching dreams. Your dreams are clear, concise, and helpful. You will remember your dreams. Your dreams will help you to heal. Language like that. And then I encourage them to have a tablet and a pen beside them at bed and teach them some real simple dream work.
Hmm.
And now you can all see why we wanted to have Zoilita on the podcast. There are so many avenues where a person can uh, take that next step towards success. We were talking about it kind of in TikTok land, about we were talking about the tree, and if an acorn falls, is it anything less? And so we started talking about the environment. Well, how does that seed know it's in a bad environment unless somebody says, hey, you're in a bad environment, let me help you get to a good environment,
Hmm.
and then you can produce. And that's what the value of having a coach is being able to uh, take a step in the direction that you want to go, look around, and you may even just look around and say, okay, wait a minute, everything is completely different now. Why
Hmm.
is everything completely different? Coach, what's going on? Well, you know what? If you take one more step, you'll see the answer to that question. And as you keep taking steps away from where you are now, you find that change just becomes your way of life.
Absolutely. Mhm.
Yeah, that. But Shawn, are we at that time for the question?
We are getting awfully close to the friend or frenemy question. For those of you that are still watching, let us know, friend or frenemy, and we'll ask that question in a moment. Uh,
Yeah,
we,
place your bets.
Yep, we do want to make sure we talk about where is it here? Breakthrough to Brilliance, because that's your newest creation. And tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll get on to friend or frenemy and the hypnosis portion of the podcast.
Mhm.
So, Breakthrough to Brilliance is a 6 week long course that is made up of audios, videos, and ebooks that I designed to give people shortcuts in life. It allows people to assimilate a lot of information and skills that they might not have learned in their family of origin, but will help them to make better choices in life. For instance, one of the videos is called Emotional Intelligence Made Easy. And it's taking the principles and ideas about being an emotionally intelligent person and making them really simple so they're easy to follow so that your communication with other people improves. It also will have a online community where I will invite people such as yourself, to do some lives in the community. We'll have like monthly question and answer or teaching sections. And it's like something that really comes from my heart. It's like synthesizing all of the things that I've learned in my years of life and putting them in an easy way for other people to improve the quality of their lives.
And I know because I'm still in the design phase of what I'm doing, which I think will ultimately be similar, but it won't be the same because you've got 50 years of experience, and they are far different experiences than what I have.
Hmm.
And so we may be looking at exactly the same outcome, but in completely different, using, I won't say completely different methods, but using some very different methods, some very different imagery. And so, you know, the goal is always as coaches, and we talked about this, at just before we went on the air. The goal is, as a coach is to help you take that next step, to help you get to whatever goalpost, whatever milestone you set that says, I'm going to move from here to here, and you need to help me get down that path. That's the goal, and it's always even as an educator, it always has to, for us, it always comes from the heart because
Hmm.
yes, we want you to achieve it, but how we go about it really has to come from a personal connection.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
No, that's just interesting. I'm kind of sitting here going like, wow, that kind of shut me up for a minute.
Yeah.
Wait, was that a champagne cork I heard in Texas? Scott, you're an ass.
And I think that's, when we look at teachers in general, when we look at coaches that are doing it right, and doing a good job for their clients, and not out to nickel and dime somebody and promise the world they can't deliver it. Uh, when you get in with the coach, and you're working, and things are working. Let's just say the stream of life is starting to get a little bit of momentum the way that you want to go. Uh, that's how you know that you're going to get there. Yes, there might still be some rapids, and there might be some areas where there may have to be a portage or two. Carry the canoe over to the other side and keep going, but you will get there.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And that's the value of a coach, is somebody that's going to stick with you, help you, point out where maybe you could make a little bit of an improvement. If you do it this way, you're going to get a better result. and then step out of the way and let them do it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right, so breakthrough to brilliance. Let's bring that up on the screen one more time. Of course, is there breakthrough to brilliance coaching.com/home. We'll get you there, and you can look at that. And again, and we haven't even talked about this. We didn't even touch on it yet, and we're almost at the end. When you're looking at working with a coach, don't look at it as money out of pocket. Look at it as an investment over time.
Oh yeah, an investment
Absolutely.
that's going to pay dividends.
Yeah, and it comes right off of your profit and loss in your business accounts. So it's a genuine business expense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There
And
are
even if,
lots of CEOs that have coaches.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the big name podcasters that you hear about, the Ed Miletts and the Brad Lees and Brennan Bouchard and some of the big thought leaders that are out there. They're coaching each other
Yes.
in some way, shape, or form. Dan Martell, another one, billionaire from Canada, started out as a kid that got into trouble and learned it the hard way, and actually did go to jail. And his dad said, "I'm not going to visit him. If he gets in trouble again and he's going to jail, I'm not visiting him." And he never did. And
Mm-hmm.
Dan said that's the absolute best thing. That circling back to our parenting conversation, that was the best thing my dad ever did for me, was not come and visit me. And
Mm-hmm.
he picked up a book on Java programming, got into the programming end of it, built a company, sold it, built another company, and just took off from there. Billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, yeah, but that's the result of having coaches. It was the result of him getting coaching about what to do, because he had no idea how to be a millionaire. He had no idea how to be a billionaire. He learned that from coaches that had gone before him that had those skills. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like you can also tell, like, I know Nicholas Crown is another YouTuber out there who
mm-hmm.
talks about mainly finances and stuff like that, but he does he used to do these skits called the rich versus really rich. And so the rich guy's like always trying to like show off, and then the really rich guy is like super relaxed. Oh, here, let me I apologize for this. Let's be like super easy to work with. And like
Mm-hmm.
whatever the outcome was, the really rich guy, just because for lack of a better term, he wasn't a prick, it always worked out better in the end. And at some point in time, you reach a level of success or even responsibility where you go, look, I'm a performer. I'm the person who's doing the work, or I'm the talent. I need to realize that I can't, as much as I'd love to be able to be in control of every single aspect, I need to delegate things.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's going to have to landscaping. Someone's going to have to handle billing and accounting and marketing and website, all these other things that I need to take off my plate so I can focus on being the absolute best at what I do.
I help my clients create the CEO part of their personality.
Yeah.
So that CEO manages the talent and manages all of these other different aspects.
Oh,
they would
yeah.
they would be the committee manager.
Yes, the divine adult.
Oh,
Interesting.
yeah. I worked for a guy who was knowledgeable with what he did, but the social and personal stuff, talking to people, and it's like, shit, we had our first meeting and all he did is he talked about himself
Mm-hmm.
and his dog for 30 minutes. Like, I'm here about a legal matter, and I'm like, I don't care that he spent XYZ dollars on this effing dog. And it, and then he just wanted to be super in control of every single aspect. And it's like, well, why didn't this get done? Well, because you told, why didn't you do this? You should have done this. I'm like, well, I asked you I asked you about this for the authorization to do whatever, and you never got back to me. We put it on the we'll do it later.
Mm-hmm.
and that just went super toxic really fast. And so it's, yeah, I mean, being in the military, you can probably appreciate people that, it's like officers. You can tell when they used to be enlisted and they crossed over, and then the people that, you know, had a trust fund and, you know, went to West Point and all they're doing is playing politics. Those are the people that will they would eat their own children if it meant a promotion.
Mm.
And so and not every negative experience has to, you know, be the end of the world.
For sure.
You know, look at dating. Sometimes it's just like, okay, well, I know what I don't want.
Right. But I think in the work that we do, all of us, we really focus on the creation of the positive and the best case scenario. And I
For
think
sure.
that the more that we bring light into the world, the more it makes the world lighter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and on that note, I think it's time to ask that question.
Okay.
do we have people place their bets?
Nobody has said anything yet.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Do you want? I think it's your turn to ask the question, Brian.
Okay, so I'm going to run through some of the caveats.
Okay.
So there is no wrong answer as far as you know. Everybody else knows the truth. We're not saying, well, if it's available, I'll have it. This is the context of you are ordering pizza for yourself. Are you ordering pizza that has pineapple on there? Or are you a firm believer that pineapple does or does, or so does pineapple belong or not belong on pizza?
So, full disclosure, I don't eat pizza, but I definitely would not eat pizza with pineapple.
Okay.
Scott actually got it right. he snuck it in the chat just as we were asking the question.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "You're a friend." And yeah, we often talk about the fact that I have to apologize on behalf of Canadians everywhere because ham and pineapple pizza was invented in just outside of Toronto somewhere. So I always used to think it was invented somewhere in Vancouver, but yeah, I was corrected. It was invented in Ontario. So regardless, it's not the pizza of choice.
Yeah. No, that's get a different screen back up here.
Interesting. We've got a few different things going on in the chat here. There's a couple different conversations that have.
I was going to say we haven't heard from TikTok in
there's a couple different conversations that have been kind of floating along here, and one guy saying that pizza needs to have good ham also, and I'm assuming you're talking about having pineapple on it, which ruins the good ham. It just makes it just doesn't. Pineapple on pizza just doesn't work. But anyway, that's what Shawn and Brian think.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, we should throw up our disclaimer here.
Okay.
And we do this just as a little bit of a safety precaution, so we're seeing it there and there. And so the disclaimer is this: hypnosis relies on your focus. If you need to focus on your current circumstances, you're driving, you're cooking, and I actually had somebody doing that on TikTok one day, or anything else like that. Do not watch or listen to this part of the podcast. You can always come back to it on YouTube. I used to say you could come back to it on Facebook, but Facebook deletes everything after 4 weeks anyway. So
yeah, we didn't even get a chance to make it on Facebook tonight. That's what.
Yeah, so we'll rectify that for the next time. But definitely, if you're not able to get yourself into a nice, comfortable spot, where you're not going to, bump your head if you happen to go deep into hypnosis. By all means, we're okay if you turn us off now and come back to us later.
Yeah.
Also, on that same note, if you're watching this, because it is there and it is going to be archived and available until we can get it. Even after we get it onto Apple Podcasts and Spotify and some of the other platforms. If you have a question, feel free to post it. Underneath the video, we will make sure that you get an answer. So Brian and I do take a look at anything that comes in for comments on previous episodes, and we definitely do make the effort to, if we don't have the answer, we get the answer from our guest, or we consult the large group of hypnotists that we know, because when you know 1,000 hypnotists, somebody has that answer for you. So with all that said, Brian and I are going to disappear behind the scenes. We will keep monitoring things in the background. We're going to turn the screen over to Zoilita, and Zoilita, take it away.
So today we're going to go on a journey into your own inner workshop. This process is designed to help you achieve your goals faster and more effectively. So closing your eyes now and allowing your attention to focus inside. Take in a long, deep breath and hold it. Let it out with a sigh. Take in another long, deep breath into your body. And as you exhale, you can unwind. You can let go, and you can breathe. And you can breathe. Take in another breath now. Hold it for a moment. And as you exhale, find a rhythm of your breath, a rhythm. The in-breath is life and vitality. The out-breath is tension and stress. I'm going to count backwards from 10 to 1, and each descending number is taking you to a deeper place, a deeper space. 10, 9, 8, go deeper now. 7, 6, 5, go deeper still. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a breath. Go deeper now. Bring the attention to the top of your scalp. Relax your scalp completely. Move your attention slowly downward. Focus on the forehead. Relax the forehead. Relax the jaw. Feel the jaw. Relax the jaw. Relaxing the cheeks now. The ears now, the eyes. Feel those eyes. The eyes are the windows of your soul. And as your outer eyes are closed, you open those inner eyes, those eyes of your soul, and you go deeper now. Relaxing the neck and the shoulders, the arms and the hands. Taking deeper breaths now into the chest now. And as you exhale, you move to a deeper place, you move to a deeper space. Relaxing hips and thighs, knees and calves, feet and toes, your body knows. Your body knows. Begin to relax all internal organs. Every cell, every gland, every organ is operating in a rhythmic and healthy way as you go deeper now. Now let's go into the mind. 10, 9, 8, you're going into your mind. 7, 6, 5, go into your mind. 4, 3, 2, 1. You're inside a room in the mind. A room now to put your thoughts away. There's a perfect order in the universe. All life enhancing thoughts are amplified. All self defeating thoughts will fade away. Like photographs left in the summer sun, fade away. In one corner of the room of the mind is a special box. A box for thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that you want to get rid of. And today, you want to get rid of anything that blocks you from being able to find and work with your own inner workshop. All of your fears and insecurities, all of your skepticism or disbelief, put all of that stuff into that special box as you clear your mind. And I'm going to give you 1 moment of silence to clear your mind. Now put the lid on that box and put that box on the shelf. Make the decision, make the choice to let go of all of that blocking energy. And it's good to know now that you have a conscious and subconscious, and that's good to know. So good to know. And it's good to know now that your conscious mind can drift and rest and rest and drift. Your subconscious hears and understands everything I am saying, and I am talking to the subconscious. The subconscious knows how deep you need to be to get to that maximum benefit today. I now direct the subconscious to take you as deep as you need to be. 10, 9, 8, go deeper now. 7, 6, 5, go deeper still. 4, 3, 2, 1, right place, right now. I now direct the subconscious to put all attention on the contents of the box. I now direct the subconscious to release and clear all experiences in this lifetime, whether known or unknown, that have created blocks to discovering your inner workshop. To release and clear the experiences and all of the shock and the trauma. To release and clear the web and the linkage of feelings, particularly all feelings of fear or skepticism. To release and clear the habits and patterns of behavior, particularly habits and patterns of getting distracted or procrastination. To release and clear the beliefs and the variations of belief that in any way reinforce or support the blocks. I now direct the subconscious to release and clear this content: experiences creating the blocks, shock and trauma connected, web and linkage of feelings, habits and patterns of behavior, beliefs that reinforce and support, and the blocks themselves. Because you are ready, because you are willing, because you are able, and because you have inner and outer support. To release and clear from the physical body, from every cell, from the mind and all processes, from the emotions, the feeling track, the emotional body, the emotional heart, the whole energy field, each and every chakra, all layers of the aura. because you are ready, because you are willing, because you're able. Now I want you to imagine that all of that blocking energy is just like old dark gray. And all of the old dark gray is pouring out of you. It's flowing out of fingers and out of toes. It's coming out of ears and eyes and nose. It's flowing out of the mind like dark gray fears. It flows out of the heart like dark gray tears. It flows out of the energy field like the pattern gray. Let the gray flow away. Let it flow away. Now, directly above your head is a beautiful golden sun. A golden sun that is a connector to and a symbol for the higher sun. And the golden light of the golden sun flows down smoothly and evenly, and it washes away all of your gray. The golden light of the golden sun flows into you and fills you. And as it flows into you, it lights up light already inside of you. And the light flows into the soles of the feet and the arches, the ankles, the calves, the knees, the thighs, waves of golden light. It flows up the spinal column, infuses your physical brain. It flows all through your vital organs. It opens the heart like a flower. It clears unspoken words from the throat. It flows into the face, the jaw, the cheeks, the ears, the eyes, the mind. And the mind is filled with light now. Take a breath and go deeper. Today we are going to go on a journey to your inner workshop. There are 10 steps that take you to the door. 10, 9, 8, go to the inner workshop. 7, 6, 5, go directly. 4, 3, 2, 1, standing in front of a door that says inner workshop. Open the door and go inside. There is a sanctuary where you can receive information that you need about achieving your goals. There is a resource center where you have access to all information that you need to be able to achieve your goals. There's a resource and development center where you can plan and organize, and a movie theater where you can watch yourself achieving your goals. In an easy and natural way, you gather everything that you need and you move into the planning center. You hold your goal in your mind and you plan and organize how to achieve the goal. And now you go down to a movie theater and you're sitting in front of a large flat screen and you see yourself achieving that goal. You see yourself feeling excited, feeling satisfied, feeling accomplished as you achieve the goal. Now take a moment and step into that movie. Feel what it feels like to achieve this goal. Notice what you say to yourself in your mind. Notice how it is that you feel. This is like a song in your own heart as you achieve this goal. Now step out of the movie, but keep the song in the heart. And every time you feel the beating of your own heart, your desire to achieve the goal will become stronger and stronger. And each and every time you take the time to imagine yourself achieving the goal, it brings that time into this time, the time when you will really achieve your goals. Now take a moment of clock time to integrate this fully into you. into your body, your mind, your emotions, into all aspects of your being. And every day now, in every way, you make the right choices, you make the right decisions. Everything in your life is going to work out in a wonderful way. You are a conscious creator. Everything always works out for you. You take the time to plan inside of your own mind what it is you want to achieve. And every day, in every way, it's going to get easier and easier. So take a moment now to look at your inner workshop, to know that this is a place that you can visit whenever you want to enhance any goals or to do any planning of your business and your life. And as you get ready to leave now, you have a deeper sense of confidence in your own ability to achieve your goals. You have the mindset for success. And as you get ready to come back now, you're bringing that mindset with you. You're bringing your mindset for success and your belief in your ability to achieve it. I'm going to be able to count to 5 now. When I say 5, you're going to be wide awake and feeling great. You will feel alert, energetic, centered, and balanced. And you will remember everything you need to know. And you will remember that you are ready to achieve this goal. 1, take a nice deep breath into your body. 2, you're starting to gently move and stretch. 3, you're moving those fingers, you're moving those toes. 4, you're getting ready to gently open your eyes. And 5, your eyes are fluttering open and you become awake and aware.
All right, so welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back to you.
Yeah.
We'll give everybody a moment, but for those of you that stuck around for the experience, let us know how that was for you. I know, Brian and I, because we're busy behind the scenes, we often will be going back and doing it a little bit later to get the same experience because quite, what I find, especially with what you've done here tonight, that's some that's getting on to some of that deeper work that people should be getting to on a more regular basis. And you just got a very good sampling of what that deeper work is like and what it can do for you.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we're one of the only podcasts that do this live, and I mean, we're hypnotists. We should be. It's one thing for us to sit here and talk about it, but having somebody actually, and I say this to my students too, having you actually experience it is a whole lot better than just talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So that's why we let you get hypnotized through the screen. All right.
That is a process that I teach my clients to do. And then I have like a little worksheet that goes with it.
Mm-hmm.
They write down the goal and then they write down about their experience that they had in their inner workshop. And then I make that MP3 for them as a customized MP3 and have them practice with it.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So they get some reinforcement and some acknowledgement that yes, you're doing that work. You're in the workshop doing the work, which I'm sure also helps executive functioning and a whole bunch of other processes that you're looking for down the road. I'm starting to pick up what you're laying down.
Yeah. You know, it's almost like when you do a design in your mind, then it feels familiar to the mind.
Right.
And so it's easier for the mind to do because it's a familiar kind of experience.
Yeah. It's part of I'm still keeping you safe.
Yeah.
And it isn't viewed as a threat.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I like it. We are going to wrap up here shortly. Brian, any last thoughts?
No, I think I mean, at least in the states, Thursday is our Thanksgiving, and just kind of take a it's Thanksgiving followed by Black Friday, which all the shopping goes bananas. But it's a time for just kind of reflecting back on the year and things that we appreciate, that we're grateful for. Also, you know, take some pause for law enforcement, first responders, and our servicemen and women at domestically here and abroad. Um, they're just doing things in places. So we are incredibly thankful for all of them and all of their efforts, and also to their families. So I think that's a good way to close it off.
Yep. Zoilita, over to you. Any?
So I'd just like everyone to remember that when you change your mind, you change your life,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's possible to create by design rather than default.
Yeah.
I like that. Creating by design rather than default. I like it. And of course, we'll highlight one more time Breakthrough to Brilliance. The course is available. You have Zoilita as a coach. We talked about some of the different results 400% more income. I don't know too many people who wouldn't jump at that opportunity, but you are right. It starts with the mind, and you have to change it so that you can change your life.
Absolutely.
All right. With that in mind, we always end off the podcast with Jim's infamous words: take care, stay well, and be awesome. Good night,
Stay free,
everybody.
everybody.
Good night.